Okay, what's up, everyone? Full disclosure, this is like kind of a semi reaction, semi breakdown here. I've seen this once already, and now it's like 4:30 a.m. So I've got my coffee in my Boba Fett mug, and I'm watching it a second time, hopefully to kind of maybe slow it down and pick out some things that I think are important to this trailer. This is by no means a full breakdown. There are plenty other YouTube channels that are doing way better breakdowns than this, but this is kind of how I'm reacting and what I'm excited to see based off of this trailer for season 3 of The Mandalorian. So let's jump in and take a look at what we got from this.
Our people are scattered like stars in the galaxy. What are we? What do we stand for?
So, okay, real quick, going back to here. Oh, man.
What do we stand for?
So we've gotten this image before, we've seen this, but what you can kind of see and what I'm picking out here is that Din is now starting to work with a variety of different Mandalorians from different clans. At this point, the Mandalorians are spread out around the galaxy. He's been with the tribe, which they've been kind of the more extremist, don't remove your helmet kind of tribe. But since running into Bo-Katan, he's realized there's others around, and they all kind of have various beliefs in terms of Mandalorian culture. But here he is working with, I believe these are night owls. We can kind of see by their armor who were the ones loyal to Bo-Katan. But we can see that it could be that they're on Mandalore. This looks similar to maybe the outskirts of the city. If you didn't know, Mandalore was actually a city or a planet that was pretty much made almost uninhabitable by the Mandalorians' own civil wars throughout the years. And that's why you see Mandalore is kind of this big dome city, because it was not good living conditions outside of the dome. So we'll see that later in the trailer. It shows kind of the ruins of that. And if you've watched the Clone Wars, or if you've watched even Rebels, you've seen that dome and kind of how the city once looked before the Mandalorian purge and the TIE bombers kind of decimated it. But we'll see that a little bit. So anyway, so far we see Din working with a variety of different Mandalorians. Still has his N1 starfighter, obviously modded. If you didn't watch Book of Boba Fett and you're confused why Grogu's back, he decided he didn't want to be a Jedi anymore.
You'll never be lost.
We're back on Navarro. Obviously, we've got Grief here, and it really looks like he has turned this place around. We've seen this develop from kind of a dump and ruins and kind of a crime center to now it really looks like a pretty like well-off city and planet. So Grief's doing well. You see some burned stormtrooper helmets or whatever, and the foot of IG-11. That's interesting. So we're on a rainy planet here. Could be a whole bunch of different planets. I'm sure the temptation is to immediately think Camino, and that could make sense because we are starting to deal with cloning and that topic. Season 2 brought that up a lot. So Din and Grogu could be investigating cloning and stuff, and that would probably lead you to Camino eventually. But at this point, Camino is destroyed. The Empire decimated Tipoca City in the Bad Batch Season 1, which takes place years before The Mandalorian. So there's probably not much to go and see at Camino. And so I just don't see it being Camino, but it could be. the armorer.
I'm going to Mandalore so that I may be forgiven for my...
Yeah, so here's Mandalore, and here's actually something that I thought was interesting when I saw it. So you can see obviously the ruins of the city and what used to be the dome, and that would go all the way up around and pretty much seal the city off from the elements outside. But what's interesting is it actually, if you look outside the city, it looks really green and lush. And that could be just the shot is maybe deceiving, but I actually think that maybe what we might be seeing is the planet of Mandalore itself, since it's been pretty much uninhabited for the last couple decades, that perhaps like life is starting to come back to it, and maybe it is going to really be like fully restored as a planet that is essentially got a second chance, and the Mandalorians might be able to take it back and not even have to seclude themselves to these dome cities. Perhaps it can be a fully inhabitable planet by them. So anyways, I might be reading too much into that. This might not actually be like lush greenery returning, but I thought that was interesting.
My transgressions.
Yep, Pelimoto.
This is the way.
There's something dangerous happening out there. By the
Coruscant.
time it becomes big enough for you to act, it'll be too late.
Okay, so let's go back here to a couple spots. Let's see. And we're on Coruscant, and here we have the scientist who really protected Grogu since season 1. Anytime he's been within Empire control, he has been protecting him, albeit he's been doing experiments on Grogu as well, but he's made sure that Grogu wasn't just cast aside as another sample in whatever cloning experience or in whatever cloning experiments the Empire was going for. So he's on Coruscant. Not sure, he's not wearing any like Imperial insignias or anything like that, because obviously he's not really affiliated with them anymore, but curious to see what he's doing. Coruscant at this point is free of Empire control, because obviously this is after the fall of the Empire. So it'd be interesting to see what he's going back to do.
By the time it becomes big enough for you to act, it'll be too late.
Now, this is obviously the scene that probably most people are excited about from watching this trailer, and that is what is clearly a flashback of Grogu's to Order 66 and the night that he was rescued from the Jedi Purge and from Anakin Skywalker. So we've got here 4 Jedi. We don't know who any of these Jedi are. You can make speculation. Some people are saying that one of these is Sindrelig, but we don't know. It's most likely just unnamed Jedi, like they've been doing when they've been revisiting Order 66 at this point. So we've got 4 unnamed Jedi defending Grogu against whatever is coming through this door. Perhaps it's Anakin Skywalker. Perhaps it's just going to be an onslaught of clone troopers. Perhaps it's whoever rescues Grogu, or one of these 4 Jedi rescue Grogu. But I think that we will get more answers in season 3 as to Grogu's past and basically how he went from being a Jedi youngling, surviving Order 66, to under Empire control, essentially being experimented on, and now where we have him with Mando.
Hang on, kid.
No way, I didn't notice that. B1 battle droids? Wait, are they just chilling at a droid cantina? Oh, that's so funny. That'll be cool to see B1 battle droids in live action. Okay, so this is Death Watch that we're seeing right now. Babu Frick, or whatever.
This is the way.
Oh, that's cool. So I don't know what kind of creature this is, but my guess, and we've seen a couple scenes here, my guess is that they're on Mandalore right now. And one of the things about Mandalore is there's a whole mining system. That's how they got their Beskar. That's how they ultimately like built their wealth and stuff like that. But I think we were seeing them kind of in those mines, perhaps. Perhaps there's a group of Mandalorians that survived the Purge and never left Mandalore. They just went underground. But I think this scene is cool because it's showing us that Grogu now has some control over his Force powers, albeit he didn't spend much time with Luke. He probably spent enough time with Luke now that he's able to harness some of his Force powers, at least in a way that's useful to him and Mando's adventures. So I think we'll see kind of a cool little blend of Grogu growing up in the Mandalorian way, but also bringing his Force powers to the table. That's kind of cool. And I thought it looked like Mando was laying unconscious behind this creature as he's going out. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. If we can get, it looks like right here behind this creature that kind of looks like a Wampa, but obviously not a Wampa. Yeah, it looks like Mando's, it looks like he's down for the count in some way. Interesting.
This is the way.
Yes. Yeah, so this is coming out March 1st, and I think it's going to be exciting. I'm going to be doing breakdowns, and we might do watch parties. It just depends. My schedule is not very great for watch parties, but if that's something that as a community we want to do, I'm happy to make it work. We'll figure it out. As we get closer to March 1st, I'll start asking you guys if watch parties would be something fun, or if not. But I'm excited for this. I think that we're going to start to see a lot of the questions we've had since season 1, like Grogu's origins, what the Empire's up to, like who is the overarching villain right now, which we kind of know is Thrawn, because we know that that's coming at the very least with Ahsoka's show. But perhaps we could see a little bit of Thrawn here. Perhaps we'll see Moff Gideon again. And whether you like it or not, Palpatine is alive doing something on Exegol right now at this point in the timeline. But I really doubt that we will see Palpatine or anything from him at all. I think that Grand Admiral Thrawn's going to be the big overarching thread throughout Ahsoka and The Mandalorian. He'll be the threat that is threading these two shows together, and maybe more. So that'll be exciting to see. I do think that probably another antagonist in this show, in this season, will be Bo-Katan, as season 2 kind of left us with the tension that she needs the Darksaber from Din in order to rule and unite Mandalore and kind of restore it, or so she thinks. And obviously Din tries to give it back to her, but she basically says, no, it can't be that way. I've done a video before on kind of why I think that she was able to take the Darksaber like freely from Sabine in Rebels, and then why she's now so gung-ho about winning it in battle. Because the gist of it is, I think that the first time around, she just thought it was about the Darksaber. I just need the Darksaber. If I have that in possession, doesn't matter how I get it, I can rule Mandalore. didn't work out for her. So I think now she's realizing, okay, it's not necessarily just about having the dark saber, but it's about proving myself in combat and taking it by force, which is part of the Mandalorian way. So I think that that'll be obviously a pretty big storyline within this season. But yeah, I'm excited to see how this goes. It does look like Din is working with other Mandalorians. So he's not completely alone, but be a good season to see. Let me know in the comments below, what are you excited about in season 3 to see? Like, what do you want to see? I think there's plenty that we can dive into, everything from diving into more cloning topics to the remnants of the Empire to what's going on with Bo-Katan. We might even be able to get a little bit of a glimpse of what Ahsoka's up to. Man, if they gave us 2 episodes that kind of interjected Luke Skywalker into Book of Boba Fett, I wouldn't be surprised if they give us 1 or 2 episodes where Ahsoka is featured. So that could be cool. I don't think that we'll see Luke in this. I'm not sure what thread they have to pull there at this point. I think they've kind of used Luke in the best way they can for the story of the Mandalorian. I still think we'll see Luke in other things, perhaps Ahsoka or whatever, but I don't think that we'll see him anymore in the Mandalorian. But anyways, let me know what you are excited to see in season 3 of the Mandalorian. Go ahead, leave a like for the video. It really does help the channel out so much. And if you haven't already and you found my ramblings helpful, go ahead and subscribe for more. I'm doing a lot of shorts and lore explanations through shorts, and then of course doing fanfics and stuff like that. And we'll start doing some live streams later. So if you want to stay tuned for that type of thing, then go ahead and subscribe and stay up to date on what Star Wars Corner is doing. Other than that, have a great rest of your day, and may the Force be with you.